Hey everybody, welcome to a later nightly vid. I apologize, I had volleyball. I'll try and be up tomorrow for those that are in the Discord, but it is almost midnight already. That being said, just doing some initial scanning, it looks like most of the market leaders are coming off the highs. You can see if we go like STI, CRML, really bringing them in. Let me turn these indicators off here. And CRML was one we mentioned for the short yesterday. It's down 22%. QBTS coming in with QUBT from today's stream. It's down 10%. Could go a lot further. See this inside week down in the quantums. We definitely want to know about that. 30% drop coming. Rocket Lab, AMD, little bit. AMD's holding up a little better. Looks like MU is holding up a little better as well. But you've got a lot of leaders coming back in, is what we see. And the quick way to see this on the scanner is go like this. So you go in here, and you can just say anything up over like 30% this month. So it gives us 37 names. And you go in there and we can go to this week and look at those same names and see, this week who's coming back in. So USAR, UUU, BKSY, IREN, Rocket Lab, METC, NTLA. So these are coming back in a little bit more. If we looked at the daily, see CRML, STI, HOND, all these guys, big haircuts, 20% on the day. So we do see that happening, and this is a good thing. If you're playing these momentum type plays, HOND is one I'm interested in. It's going to be a SPAC for a uranium company that's already tried and true and tested. So that'll be interesting, especially once it comes off the highs. If we go in here, you can see it, boom, bring them in. So we're going to create hopefully a nice 3 in there, and then we can go after it to the upside. But that being said, we go to the indexes today. We saw 322 reversal. Now it ran out of time to hit magnitude, but we've got tomorrow to come for these guys. And you can see we have these pivots drawn out. So if we do take those guys out, we may trigger more. If we go to Qs, 3 on the day. So another broadening formation. You can see still an inside week for next week. And hopefully it stays inside week. We need those weekly signals ideally. Dow 322 as well, ran out of time. And Dow is the weakest of the bunch. Or actually, Dow is the weakest of the bunch. You'll see IBM as well, 22 off the highs. Coming back in, and we just made new all-time highs on IBM. So if we're going to go triangle expando to the downside, we look in here, here's our quarterly triangle. And when your big time frame triangles like this start kicking in, you start taking the highs and lows out, you can see up in here mattered, this slight lower low mattered in here. We had the higher low, higher high. So is that going to matter, right? You're going to bring them in. If they do start bringing IBM in, it'd form a shooter week, which would be the first way that we'd need to start bringing them down. But that's what we see for tomorrow. We'll see if those continue to the downside or not. That being said, if you look at the futures today, we've been tracking this broadening formation all week. You can see dink, 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 right? And then slight lower lows to these guys, dink, lower highs, and then lower lows again. So the downtrend has started. So they may open them up down lower tonight, but we definitely want to see these lows is what we'd be looking for. Inside days, you'll have FSLR inside day, top of the range. So maybe they bring them back. NVIDIA inside day with full time frame continuity. Shooter week pivot machine gun. Monthly 3-3 potentially. So if you've been waiting to get more NVIDIA after our monthly buys down in here, triangled out might occur below 164.07. In the uraniums, CCJ inside day. You see they've been grinding it up for a while, so eventually we got to force some guys to take some profit. PNW inside day does have the shooter week down, similar to NVIDIA, top of the range, and it is a company I want to be long on, but when you have triangles, what you want to see if they're going to expand is maybe we take out some guys, and then we go the other way to expand it, making higher lows and then higher highs. But we'll see. SE, it's getting wrecked this week. Inside day 3-1, 2-2 week signal, and shooter 2-2 month. It looked like a 3-2-2, but 2-2 month signal. So they might at least bring it to 145. And this inside day with long red and green bars, it's what we look for. They might do it tomorrow. HIMS. They poked them up today, much like the indexes. You can see we're starting to get stuck on HIMS like this. unless they can get out of that. So new hot, new low, currently inside the range. Maybe a 10% move tomorrow if they bring the market in. Sorry, I have hiccups. Pizza, PZZA. Long green, 2-2 week reversal. It is exhaustion risk. It is an outside month already, so if it does break down tomorrow, could be interesting. However, inside 3-1-2 quarter up. So if they're going to buy anything, they're buying this one this week. So we'll see if they come by more. A-Lab. You can see on the week, 2-2 week wrecked. All right, bringing them down. Now it's also 2-2 month reversal. So you'll see the broadening formation in here. Like this. Not saying it has to go down there, right? But at least bring them down into here would be good for us. 123. We'll be watching that tomorrow. MET-C. This is one of those rippers in the material sector. Now, I think long term, these guys are going to be awesome the next 5 years. You know, your MP, your uraniums, that type of stuff. But short term, maybe we can take out some guys tomorrow into here. And we'll have McDonald's inside day. Has been stronger this week, 2-2 week up. However, if it breaks down, you have this daily triangle that could kick in the other way. For 2-2 reversals in the home builders, maybe they could firm up tomorrow. We did see all of them, for the most part, reverse down, but you can see they come back a little in Home Depot, which I'll actually add to the list here. But you also see Lowe's hammer counter shooter back into a pivot machine gun. That's interesting, right? If they go in force. KBH, also hammer in here. Still an inside week, but maybe they're setting up for next month. It's a little early, about 14 days till next month. So we're a little early doing that, but we'll see. Then we'll have BBY hammer day. In the discretionary, you'll see 2-2 week kicking pattern type of look. It's already a 3 on the month. However, they do have the quarterly 2 to the upside, so we have targets above. And then we have on the outside days, SMR 3. You can see new pivot highs, 3, potentially bring them all the way back through, right? If uraniums cool off, maybe they do it. Obviously, they had a lot to sell after the top of our broadening formation. And this was one we actually identified in the morning, and we saw it here. Did not get the alert on the inside 30 rev strat, but we sent this out to our people. You'll see SMR, gap up, sell, right? 856. So what do you know to do all day on SMR? Gap up and sell it. Goes inside 30s up, but it did not recover. Rev strat, pivot machine gun of these guys. And you can see this will kind of walk you through what that looks like. For some reason, these pivots. My indicator got messed up. But you can see the pivot machine gun speeds it up, gives you the outside day. So we'll see if they follow it through. We will also see ASTS. Same outside day here. Maybe some buyer exhaustion, right? They've been gunning. We identified this triangle down in here. If you recall last time we talked about it. Notice they act as support. How do they act as support here? Well, bottom of this triangle. So they extend up. Don't want to be buying above that, so maybe a 3-2 brings them back in a bit. We will see. That being said, that is all we have got tonight, so hopefully you guys had a good trading day, and I'll see you guys hopefully bright and early tomorrow. I might sleep in. I have not been sleeping the best in the past couple of weeks, so it's been a little bit difficult, but thank you for being patient with me. Adios, everyone, and have a good rest of your night.